Pamela Anderson, a pop culture icon, and since then she's become an outspoken activist and lately a woman who's been dealing with a lot of serious high-profile drama. So please welcome back Pamela Anderson.
There we go.
Beautiful as always.
Oh, thank you. Hi.
Welcome back.
Yes, it's good to be back. This is my mom's favorite show, so she's watching. Hi, Mom.
Good.
You were here several years ago at this point, right?
Was that several years ago?
I think it
Time
was.
flies.
Yeah.
This goes too
And a lot's
fast.
happened in your life since you were last here. You've had some rocky relationships, but this summer you made
Oh, what else is new?
a number of headlines.
It's not like it's my first mistake.
But, you know, you're open about it, which is why we love you. You had a messy breakup with a French soccer star.
Oh,
You
boy.
say
We
that,
don't want to give him any attention. That's what he wanted.
well, you accused him of physical abuse and leading a double life, which he has denied.
Of course.
What do you want people to know, and how are you doing now?
Well, just to trust your instincts, you know. That's what I've learned in the whole thing, is that I knew all along. And, you know, and especially not to give it any attention. But the issue is important because I think many women go through this. And
What happened?
it's just horrible. Just, I don't know, it was I mean, I loved being in France. That was the good part. I learned a little French. And now I'm home. I'm back in Vancouver Island, which is my home. That's why the world is round, right? We always end up where we come from. And it's nice to be able to be in Ladysmith and be in the position I'm in and bring some resources back to my hometown. So it's really exciting because I was that girl. You know, I watched this crazy documentary last night on, you know, Hot Girls Wanted on Netflix. You know, I was that girl. I was that girl that wanted to get out of that small town. And, you know, and Playboy found me. And I had this incredible career. And somehow I traveled around the world and got home in one piece.
Yeah.
You know, without going to the extreme of what some of those girls had to go through. But it was really moving and really touching to think about that.
So is there anything you want to share about what you went through or sitting here today and
I'm a woman, so I mean, we all go through such wild things.
do.
Yeah.
We
We
do.
do.
We do.
And I just think that's why I love the show, too, because I think we really have to, us women have to get together and fix some of these problems. Like, there's so many issues that need to be discussed, and you know, just the human condition, our natural way of living. I really blame the Republican Party for most of the issues that we're facing when it comes to climate change, climate deniers, and nuclear war, the threat of nuclear war. So,
and you've been such an activist, let me ask you this: you have a relationship with WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange, and you
I know how to pick them.
You really do.
Well, you visited him several times while he was at the Ecuadorian embassy in London. You brought him vegan food. The last time you saw him was in May at the high-security British prison, where he's now serving an 11-month sentence and still facing possible extradition to the U.S.
Right.
How is he doing?
Well, not so good. His health has really deteriorated. He's lost about 30 pounds, I think, since I saw him, and he was very thin at that point. He was wearing 2 pairs of sweatpants, trying to be, you know, strong and look good to me, because he always feels like people won't fight for people if they're not resilient, and he is the most resilient person I've ever met. And everything that's happened to him, he told me was going to happen, so there was no surprises. But it is devastating that people have fallen for this smear campaign, especially in America. I almost feel like an outsider looking in, looking at how America has embraced all these this propaganda. It's really frustrating, but I just hope that he doesn't get extradited. I don't think he'll make it. I think I don't think you're protected in prison. Look at Epstein. I think there's a lot of danger surrounding his life.
Well, let me ask you, I mean, how did you meet him? Was it political? Was it romantic?
I know, that's funny.
Yeah.
Why me? I know. Well, you know, actually, he's really incredible how he just loves to look at people and see different ways of thinking. He was always asking me questions. How do you see the world? What do you think we should do? What can you bring to the table? What is your passion? He was always very passionate and very encouraging of my activism. And I never felt different than anybody else in the room. And there were lawyers and, you know, the Noam Chomskys and the John Pilgers and the people. I never felt any less than anybody else. So he really inspired me a lot. And
as an activist?
As an activist, and that's why I met him. I wanted to know how to be a more effective activist. And I write a lot of blogs and poetry on my website, and I put his name in one of them, and the first thing he asked me is like, why did you write about me? How does he know? He knows everything. He knows everything that anytime
he's
anyone
not
mentions
stupid.
him.
We
He's
know
not
that.
stupid.
Yeah.
No, he know that. He's actually an interesting guy. I mean, he's obviously ruffled the feathers of some very powerful people,
Just
and powerful people want to
question
keep
for
him
you.
quiet. and
When you were
jail's a good
visiting
place.
him, he was allegedly kicked out of the Ecuadorian embassy because he was defecating everywhere and creating messes.
No, well, that's a smear
And they
campaign.
couldn't-
That's not true.
There was video of things that happened. I mean, I don't.
What would you
think
do
they
if you were
put
locked
that
in a room for
Just
for
really quick
6 years?
Well, I wouldn't be a cyber terrorist, which he is.
He's
He
not a
hacked
cyber terrorist.
information. His
didn't hack.
leaks included classified documents that put our national security at risk, our military,
You know who
and the
put our
lives
national
of
security
spies
at risk
and
is the
diplomats at risk.
military. How many people have
The military,
American
so-
government killed innocently, and how many has WikiLeaks?
So
killed?
you think the military is putting the government at risk?
The military has put many innocent lives at risk.
Oh, calm down, sir. I'm actually genuinely
There are
curious
war
about your
crimes that need to be.
relationship with him.
Yeah, war crimes need to be punished, and they haven't. The war crimes that he's exposed, no one's done anything about it. But they put him in jail to shut him up.
Are you
because he
talking
is
about the 210 video of the helicopter
Right.
fire killing civilians in Iraq?
Yeah, well, that's one thing, but there's so many other things that he's exposed, and it's not just America. He's exposed.
Well-
He's exposed Russia. He's exposed all sorts of different countries.
That's a controversial area, Russia. A lot of people say that,
Yeah.
that as does the Mueller report, that Assange interfered in the 2016 election by conspiring with Russia
Yeah.
by releasing hacked emails, which hurt Hillary Clinton. It's almost like, is he responsible for giving us Trump? I mean, his
Yeah, I can
timing
see
and
that.
the
Well,
way
the timing, but you know, Hillary Clinton is responsible for Trump. She's
Well,
the one that
it's
she
timing,
because
though. Why is
yeah,
he
but
a
it's
Trump
true information.
supporter?
When
Is he a
she, but
is
would-
he a
no,
Trump supporter?
no,
Well, then
I was
why
with
would-
him.
Why
A lot
would
of people think
then
he
why
is.
would he help Trump?
Well, he wasn't helping Trump. He was trying to tell the American people true information that Hillary Clinton was doing, so
So
they
why
could make an
didn't-
educated choice.
Wait a
And I
second.
think FBI kind of put the nail in that coffin.
But do you mean to tell me that he had nothing on Trump? Come on. And that didn't get released.
I don't know. I don't know if he had something on Trump, he would have put it out there.
And also that
but he had to wrestle
released
with
her
that.
emails. I mean, the question I
They were
have
true
though is like,
emails. She wrote
what would
them,
you
so.
say to? I know, but that doesn't mean everything should be. The question I have though is like spies that go out and put their lives at risk, like Congressman Will Hurd, who we were just talking about, who's dedicated decades of his life to helping fight terrorism. Classified information, I believe, is classified for a reason. I do have some faith in the U.S. government, although as a conservative, I have less faith normally than liberals do. So, what would you say to the spies who are putting themselves at risk for our national security with your relationship with him?
Well, I don't think there's nothing proven that he's actually put anybody at risk. They've gone through this over and over again, and I think that people like Edward Snowden, Chelsea Manning are heroes, and Julian Assange is a publisher.
Putin also
He's-
thinks that.
But also, Pam, he put people in danger by refusing to redact sensitive information, including Social Security numbers and other private material.
Well, I think New York
I mean,
Times and everybody else put out the same information. I think they actually put it out even before him. I think he redacted more than they did. So
so
you know,
you
it's a
don't
big
think-
thing.
I
I
don't
think
know.
true
Just
like
information is true
talking to a-
information,
Yes.
and I think that he's obviously he's gone where no man has gone before. So I guess
Just-
we're putting him. He's the man in the whale's mouth. He's he's trying to set up it so other people can make sense of it because it's a new thing. It's a new thing.
So
We're used to business as usual.
What I'd love to know is what was he trying to do? What was his point? Because he actually did hurt quite a few people. He actually did. And I want to know, what did he think he was doing? What was the outcome in his mind supposed to be?
Well, obviously, there's other people probably could speak better for him than me, but he just believes in justice, believes in honesty, believes in exposing governments for what they're really doing, and people have the right to know what is happening, and there's so many awful war crimes that need to be exposed that, he really, his whole intention is to stop these senseless wars. War is a business. It doesn't help us. It doesn't help anybody. And I think he really, a lot of people, being in France, being in Canada, aren't too happy with America and how they meddle into everybody's business and start all these senseless wars.
But
so,
he's meddling in everybody's business too.
well, he's exposing, but he's not saying his opinion. He's giving the
I
information.
get that
But you would be-
He's a publisher.
I get
but-
that you consider him a whistleblower.
Well, he's a
but
publisher.
He's also dangerous.
But he's a publisher, and he publisher, and he
He's
supports whistleblowers.
He's certainly stirred up a lot in
Yes,
this
well,
country.
that's
He's a cyber terrorist.
I-
I'll
I
say
think,
it.
the Republican
I'll
Party
say
won.
it. It's ridiculous. I'm not
All
going
right.
to stand by this. It's ridiculous.
We're going to have a little bit of fun next segment.
Yes. Okay, that's fine. No,
Yeah.
we can have
Pamela
differences of
Anderson is
opinion.
sticking
That's
around.
okay.
We'll be right
Stirred
back
a lot
after
of
this.
trouble.
Yeah.